Samba Salama to all the Bena Betu and the Bantu Benduela, the people of the way. To Yah Gongo be the glory, to the Almighty Creator of the heavens and the earth. Praise the Most High, Yah Gongo, the Most High Yah of heaven and earth, the ruler of all things. I praise him. Happy Sabbath to all. Happy Sabbath to all. So, I was thinking about something I was watching, or several movies I've watched, and just this recently. But in my mind, I'm thinking about how many times you've seen within a movie something like somebody's taking revenge on somebody else that really didn't have anything to do with the issue of them taking their revenge. Like one movie where somebody created not necessarily a weapon, but it was like a system of scanning the land or something like that. Anyway, um, it was supposed to be used for, like search and rescue, and somebody in trouble, they can find them. But that's not what they used. That's not what they used it for. The government used it for as a weapon to locate people, and use it as weapon of destruction. Well, anyway, in the movie, this guy start taking revenge out on his fellow workers because of what the government did in another country, bombed this country, and his fiance ended up being killed. So that's just a specific storyline, but you find that type of situation being played out in different movies for whatever reason. This person's loved one was killed, his brother was killed by um somebody that really had nothing to do with it, and now they're taking revenge out um on somebody else that has nothing to do with their loved one dying. So I began to think, and I told my wife, you know what? That's how really do the Mondeli Kariempemba, how they view us. Their heart is so wicked. They judge us. That's why they're afraid of us, because they have done in their entire existence, have done just crazy, wicked, demonic things to us and themselves, mostly us. And I was just thinking, that's why they're so afraid of us, because they think we're going to do them the same way. You know, they think we're going to do them the same way they did us. So, but that's not who the Most High made us to be. You know, maybe the time is, I don't know, but it's crazy. It's crazy to think. So it was crazy. It's crazy to think, to have that mindset. You know, um, because I remember one time, this is happened to me. Um, I had a cousin. She was it was a female. I had a female cousin, and we was close. I mean, we was extremely close, and I mean, we was like sister and brother close. You know what I mean? We wasn't distant cousins, but we were really, really tight close. And she was murdered by somebody that I knew. I mean, knew um, closely, and it happened to be uh, a friend of mine's sister. And when I found out about it, it happened on a Friday night, and the Sabbath morning. I have an uncle that's just like off the hinges, and he wanted me, and I was down with him. He wanted me to go help him find the individual because I knew who exactly who was that did it. And we was like rolling all over town, all the spots that I knew where I could find somebody that knew where she was or possibly know where she was. We was looking and couldn't track her down. And we came back to the house, and it struck me. It struck me. That's not who I made you to be. That's not who I made you to be. So he wanted to go back out. I was like, nah, you go ahead and do what you need to do, but I'm out. I'm out. I'm not doing that. So anyway, one thing led to another. She turned herself in because she heard people was looking for her, right? So she figured the safe thing to do is turn herself in. So anyway, so I just looking up some scriptures, and I'm not gonna. I don't plan on being before you long, and unless the Most High give me something further. But the Kadi and Bimba, man, you know, you you really don't know unless the Most High can give you that that there's a word I want to use and I can't remember. Um, give you that insight to their mind, you know, of whether they're truthful or they're deceptive. You really don't know. So anyway, so here's a few scriptures that I was digging up some scriptures to go along with what I was thinking. And so here's one. Here it goes. This is Jeremiah 17th chapter, starting at verse 7, going through verse 10. Blessed is the muntu, the man that trusteth in Tata and Zombie, and whose hope Tata and Zombie is, and whose hope Tata and Zombie is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaves shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Dr. and Zombie, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Luke 6, chapter, verse 45. A good man. No. Let's see. Yeah. This is what. Let's see. Is it? Oh, okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me see. Let's see the chapter. Okay, sixth chapter of Luke. I'm sorry. Lost my place. 45, 645. Okay. It's way down there. Okay. All right. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall in the ditch? And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall in the ditch? I'm sorry, I'm squinting. The disciple is not above his master, but everyone that is perfect shall be as his master. Okay. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thy own eye? So another thing about the Kari and Pemba, they're see this is part of the heart. Is the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, Dr. Zombie, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. So you have, as long as I can remember, you have the Kadi and Bemba, the Mundeli, going to our motherland. And this has have been happening for centuries, if not millennia, that they go over there and their purpose is to exploit, nothing else. To exploit, because they know that Africa is the land of promise, and it is the land of our ancestors. It's the land of milk and honey, according to scripture. It is the land according to Genesis, the garden where the Garden of Eden is located. And they know all these things. So they portray, oh, we want to help you. I seen a video where a guy was talking to as a man from I guess he was from continent, but he had an English accent. But I seen a little short video, and he was saying how he was going someplace, and these missionaries was trying to get money to help to help people in Africa. And he said he told him to piss off. That's his words. That's what he said. So that's why I think he was English. He was. I mean, he lived in England, but he was African. So anyway, he told the people to piss off, and so he was with his son. His son is like, Dad, why you say that to them? They want to help, And he told his son they don't want to help because all they do is want to exploit and get what they trying to get from our land and the resources that we carry within ourselves, the knowledge that we have within ourselves. They need us. We don't need them. And so he told them, Africa and Africans don't need y'all. You need us. We have all the resources. There's no continent outside of Africa that would survive without Africa and Africans. I'm saying African as all the people on the continent, no matter what tribe you're from. So anyway, he told him to piss off because he knew that they was just trying to exploit. And let me help you. But they're like this proverb right here, this parable, the proverb was, why beholdest thou the mote in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thine own eye? A mote is like, you ever had, I used to out of high school, I used to work with wood. I used to be a cabinet maker. And part of being a cabinet maker, you're gonna get splinters. It's just part of what it is. And you get splinters. Sometimes you get big ones. Sometimes you get little teeny tiny ones, right? But a mote, picture a small splinter that is in your finger, but it actually, when it's talking about this, it's in your eye, right? It's a small speck of like a splinter because it's using the terminology beam. So beam is like a supportive log that holds up the ceiling. It's a part of the main structure. So a beam, picture a big old I beam or a 5x10 or whatever, that's a huge large log. Just say that's the best way I can describe it. A huge log compared to a splinter that's in your eye. So that's how the Mundele is. They got this big old log in their eye, and they trying to by means of deception, trying to pull a mote, something that you really can't see, unless you get up close. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceivest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote that is in thy. I'm just thinking about something, how they like calling us, hey brother, and I just go along with it. I don't try to make a big deal out of it, but in my heart, it's like, yeah, no. But I just, that's a road down sometimes you don't really want to go down, because a lot of times it's you're dealing with people on the job, and you might say the wrong thing, and you the one end up in trouble, because next thing you know, they're viewing you as an angry black man, angry black woman, right? So I just like, okay, whatever. Let me pull out the mote that is in thine eye. When thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye. Thou hypocrite, cast out first the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull out the mote that is in thy brother's eye. Now check this out. For a good tree bringeth forth For a good tree for a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither doeth a corrupt tree bringeth forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasures of his heart bringeth forth that which is good. And an evil man out of the evil treasures of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. So anybody that knows any little bit about history, as a whole, as an entire people, throughout history, destruction, despair, deceit, every evil imaginable has followed the Kadian has followed them. Wherever they went, destruction followed. Exploitation followed. Thievery followed. That's just facts. It's not my fault that they are who they are. That's just facts. Moving on. Psalms 23 and 7. Let's see. Let me back up. Labor not to be rich. Now, I learned this. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. So we as a people in particular, and seem like the rest of the world is the majority of the world is following us, world of melanated people. We have started following the ways of the heathen in seeking wealth. So what I learned is one of the things it took me years to just to understand this. Paying my tithes, being a faithful tithe payer, and just could not make ends meet. Pay tithes for years and years, and just they ask for offering, I'm giving offering, making pledges, but never could make ends meet. Never could even get my head above water. You know what I mean? Just like the more I tried to you know give offering and just do that which I thought was right, what I was, do as I thought was right, and just couldn't get my head above water. And I read this one day, and it immediately hit me. Immediately hit me. So it something happened in the not so distant past where I finally woke up, stopped paying my tithes, stopped giving my offering, and eventually left the organization. See, you can leave an organization and not leave the Most High. You can leave an organization and not leave the Most High. Because you follow, when you really learn how to follow the Most High, and He starts opening your mind and heart and showing you His word, we follow Him, not the organization, because the organization was created by man and not the Most High. His laws, statutes, and commandments is our culture. It is something that was handed down from all the way from creation up until now. It's the way. So when you read scripture and you read the Bible and stuff, when you see where it says in the way, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh to the Father but by me. That's what he's talking about. The way is the law, statutes, and commandments. That's why we are the people of the way. Bentu Benduela. We are the people of the way. So anyway, this is part of specifically American culture. Where they say money is king. The type of culture, a type of, I don't even know. Don't even want to use that word culture because it's demonic. This system, this is American system, capitalism. I can never remember that word. A capitalist society is demonic because it's set up where only certain people gain wealth, and they don't gain wealth. If you dig hard enough into people's backgrounds and their lineage, where they came from, who was their father, who was their grandfather, you're gonna dig up a big old cemetery of bones. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. Because that's how they get wealthy. By any means necessary. Anyway, labor not to be rich. We as a people gotta get out of this American mindset and turn our ways back to the Most High. That when you start seeking the Most High, it may not come right away, but when that's all that's you striving for is to gain wealth, Where's the Most High in your pursuit? That's why he said, seek ye first the kingdom of Yah and his righteousness, and all these things, and really all these things shall be added unto you. Is not wealth. It's just your daily needs. When you be learning how to be satisfied with your daily needs, you got your food, shelter, and raiment. That's all you need. Anything else is frosting on a cake. You don't need frosting on a cake to eat cake. It's just extra. It's just decoration. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. This is still Proverbs 23. Starting at verse 4, going through 9. Wilt thou... Oh, I'm just checking my time. I'm sorry. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye. So when it's in singular, the word I, it's talking about right there. That's what it's talking about right there. So, like the other scripture says, what's in your heart, when the scriptures, when you see, now you see when it uses the word heart and think, or what's in a person's heart, it's not talking about this right here. It's not talking about this. It's talking about this. It's talking about your mind. The abundance of your mind. What's the majority of your train of thought? We need to have our heart and our mind set on the Most High and what pleases Him. Get away. That's why in Jeremiah 10, learn not the way of the heathen. Learn not the way of the heathen. See, that's why we can't come together, because we got too many heathenistic ways. Following after the Kadi and Pemba. Letting them manipulate. Because when you got to understand this. Africa is the wealthiest country in the world, bar none. But the leaders, certain leaders that are puppets, that are placed in position, making deals with wicked governments, selling out their own people for what? You don't see, that's why I don't get it. I really don't get it. That you're a so-called leader of a country, and you're selling your gold for paper with Akadi and Pemba's picture on it and these numbers. But you already have under your feet, you have more wealth that any nation in the world can give you. You have more wealth, true wealth. You have not just the land, but what's in the land. You have just every imaginable mineral, precious metal, precious stones. And that's what they want. Oil. That's what they want. So they're going to trade you paper for that which you already have. Why? I don't get it. That's just like your mind is just completely corrupt to exchange true wealth for fiat currency. Something that's fabricated, something that's printed. It's like me drawing a picture of money. I'm drawing a picture of money, and I cut this out and I give it to you. I said, I just gave you $1,000 or 1,000 euros or 1,000 rema or whatever, whatever you want to call your currency. That's what our system that we live in deals, how they deal. True wealth comes from the Most High. True wealth comes from the Most High. And it's not, true wealth is really not tangible. It's what you have in here. It's where your mind, it leads you to from the Most High and from the Most High to you and guide you throughout this earth to do that which is right in His sight, not in our own sight. Let me move on. I'm on the soapbox now. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For now that, see, it says eyes. Now that's talking about both your ojos, both of your eyes. It's not talking about that eye. You'll see what I'm talking about. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. It's here today, gone tomorrow. They fly away as the eagle toward heaven. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye. In other words, your mind, the center of your mind, what your focus is. Because what your focus is what you're going to do, what you're going to perform. If you have a history throughout all your history of wickedness and destruction, why would you believe anything that they say and eat at a table with them? Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. Yet you had Bill Gates going over to Kenya, and the different leaders in that region, different in that region of Kenya and the surrounding countries and things, trying to sell them GMO corn, and they knew it. Trying to sell them GMO corn that when you plant it, it produces corn, but you can't use the corn for seed anymore. You got to go back to the person that engineered it to get the corn. It's crazy. Go back to Genesis when he created the vegetation, the fruit trees, which seed is in itself, that you get the fruit and are able to take that seed. Sometimes you gotta take the like a mango seed. You eat a mango, that's an outside husk, but the seed that you need is in. You got to break that open, and you'll see that it's a seed about that big, you know, and there's a little green like sprout coming out, and you plant that, and you should be able to get a mango or whatever seed it is, you know. But some seeds, you gotta, what I'm saying is, you gotta process it, just like take out the outer shell, or like a peach pit, you gotta break that hard outer shell to get to the seed that's actually inside, to so it can properly take root and everything. So they're trying to give you something that is demonic, because let's be perfectly clear. The Most High gave us, our ancestors, knowledge above that which we even really are able to grasp. Not that we created knowledge, because all knowledge comes from the Most High, but He created us with a intellect, a knowledge of Him, and how to do things in the earth. And He set in His law not to mingle seed. Don't mix one seed with another seed, or don't even plant your field. When you plant like a field of say collard greens, whatever, I don't know, cabbage, I don't know, something, don't, when it comes to, so you won't, don't plant another type of vegetable or fruit or whatever close to it, where when it goes to seed, when it starts flowering, that's when it's going to seed. When your vegetation starts to go to seed, that the seeds don't mix when the wind blows. So, I mean, the Most High's law is just full of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, that's why He said, if you do not, even him that does not want to hear the law, even his prayers are an abomination. You don't believe me? Look it up. Look it up. Even him that does not want to hear the law, even his prayers are an abomination. All right. So don't eat with wicked people. Don't desire their dainty meats. In other words, don't desire what they have. Don't desire what they have. Don't desire what they eat. And see, we think we as a people think we're doing something when we start eating shrimp and lobster, because what? The Kadi and Bimba eat shrimp and lobster and all those abominable things, when the Most High told us not to eat it. Let me tell you something. I do not agree with people that think it's okay, or if you just happen to eat a piece of ham. No, it's an abomination. Why did the Most High say it's an abomination? An abomination is an abomination is an abomination. Lying lips is an abomination to the Most High. Why? Because where it says he's going to come, didn't we do this in your name? Didn't we do that in your name? He said, depart from me, I never knew you, you workers of iniquity. What is iniquity? Iniquity means lawlessness. When you mingle a cow, or you mingle a horse with a donkey or a jackass, you get a mule. That's an abomination. That's what they learned from the fallen angels. The angels that fell taught man, and it was us. That's what's crazy about it. It was the melanated people that learned all this the demonic stuff. There was no Gotti and Pimba back then. That's why we need to check ourselves. Stop listening to them, because we not necessarily created things, but we created things. We the creator of all things by the power of the Most High, by the mind of the Most High that gave us this wisdom, this knowledge of so many things. But the wicked offspring of Adam mingled with the fallen angels, and the fallen angels was producing giants that start mingling with animals. What do you think the idea of when you see ancient Egypt, like the bird with a bird's head, man body, or the Minotaur, was it a bull's head with a man's body, or a centaur, a man's torso with a horse's I don't know why it does that. Oh, anyway, let me move on, because my I had to reset my my recording. So let me move on. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So this is what I got from those movies, that when something happens to them that's very hurtful, and you lose somebody, and it affects you in a way where you want to take vengeance out on somebody, that's part of their mentality, right? But that's not the mentality the Most High gave us. So as a people, they are afraid of us as a people, because they think, because that's what they do, that's what we're going to do. That's why they're afraid of us. All right, moving on. Matthew 12th chapter. Verse 35. I think I read this one already. I read it in Luke. Okay. Either make the tree good, or his fruit good, or else make the tree corrupt and his fruit corrupt. For the tree is known by his fruit. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh. A good man out of the good treasures of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasures bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment. And For thy, verse 37, for by thy word thou shalt be justified, and by thy word thou shalt be condemned. The judgment is at hand. I'm telling you now. There's too much stuff going on in the world, too much stuff going on in the land. There's too much stuff going on in the United States. Judgment is at hand, folks. Brothers and sisters, family, brothers and sisters, judgment is at hand. Oh, that's it. Okay. Yep, that's it. So there you go. The mentality of the wicked, the mentality of the Kadi and Pemba, the going, the Mundeli. So I was trying to think of another word, but that's it for today. Seek the Most High. Don't let your heart be troubled when you're struggling, you're having whatever's going on in your mind. You know, the Most High knows. Turn to the scriptures, turn to the Psalms. Turn to the Psalms and seek the law of the Most High. Don't let nobody tell you you don't have to do this. The Most High is going to judge us according to his law. Whether it's according to, if you don't change your diet, if you're eating lobster and shrimp and all these pork and all these things that when the Most High spoke his word, he said that not one jot or one tittle shall pass from the law. He said, man shall not live by bread alone. Man should not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yah doeth man live. So whatever the Most High spoke, which is in the book, you got to understand this, in the book of Genesis is being told to Moses. It's not being spoke as it's happening. It's being recalled to Moses on the mount. It's being recalled to Moses on the mount. So everything, the first 5 books, is the law. And I've experienced enough in my life in seeking to follow the Most High's law to tell you, you ain't been so wise until you follow the law of the Most High. Because that's where wisdom, knowledge, and understanding lieth. It's not just words on pages. Isaiah said, the words that I speak are spirit and they are life. Because everything he spoke was according to the law. Was according to the law. The law is life. The life, when the breath of life was breathed into Adam, that was the law of the Most High. That's why when you see all these different things in the law, that you can go back to Genesis when they was mingling, and you go to different books where they taught the fallen angels taught men how to cut roots and mingle seed and mingle animals and the manipulation of metals and all kinds of things that the Most High didn't really want us to know. Because when you're in a wicked state, all that knowledge, you see it manifesting in the world today. You see it manifesting in the world today. So to Yah be the glory. May Yah bless thee and keep thee. May Yah face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. May Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Shabbat shalom. Samba salama.